Dottie Alston came to Providence Baptist Church more than 58 years ago as a young woman. She had studied business education at North Carolina A&T State University, later expanding her knowledge in accounting at Guilford Technical Community College. For 37 years, Dottie brought her organizational brilliance to the Boy Scouts of America, where she didn't just hold a job. She built systems, supervised teams, and helped shape an office that served young people across the region.
When one thinks of the Boy Scout Council headquarters, Dottie is the first face that comes to mind. She epitomized the Scout Oath in Scout law. She was trustworthy to both volunteers and professional staff. Occasionally, she would tell everyone I was her boss, but if you know Dottie, you know who the boss really was.
But even as she excelled in her professional life, her heart remained anchored at Providence. What began as service as a Sunday school teacher soon revealed itself as something deeper, a calling. Dottie moved from teacher to assistant superintendent, and then to superintendent of Providence Baptist Church Sunday School.
Dottie, she's steadfast, she's dependable and reliable. To be Sunday school superintendent, you got to be at church every Sunday. She rarely misses, and you got to be there before everybody else.
Through her leadership and commitment, Providence Sunday School has survived through changes in the world, in the church, and the hurdles we've had to overcome. When a global pandemic, for example, forced churches across America to close their doors, the very next Sunday found Providence's Sunday School meeting on Zoom and by telephone. But Dottie's heart for service extends far beyond the walls of Providence. When she retired from the Boy Scouts in 2006, she didn't slow down. She shifted into an even higher gear of community service with an organization she had already been serving for 20 years, the National Council of Negro Women.
She has always been a faithful member of the NCNW, having served as a member for some 41 years. She's such a gentle, dedicated person, always willing to step forward whenever necessary.
When I think of Dottie, my son is 48 years of age, and Dottie was one of his first teachers. He was in the nursery, and of course, he's always been a talker, and he would ask her some of the most outlandish questions you wouldn't think this little 4 or 5 year old would be thinking about, but she was always so patient and encouraging with him that I never had a problem about him coming to Sunday school. He jumped for joy to do that every Sunday.
For nearly 6 decades, Dottie Alston has touched lives, poured into her family, and served her church and community.
Dottie Alston is my friend and has been for a very long time. Even when I came to Providence or before in the early 70s. When Willie Reynolds was alive, he started the senior prom, and he asked Dottie and I to coordinate that in Lucilla. And we had fun coordinating the senior prom. I believe that the seniors in this church and seniors outside had the best times of their lives as they came in their formals and danced on the floor, the electric slide and the rumba and whatever there is. So we really had a good time, as well as doing the real church work. So I don't think there's anything that she's been involved in she hasn't been fully committed to.
My name is Jasmine Boykins. I am Dottie Alston's granddaughter, one and only granddaughter. There's a lot I can say about her. She is a force to reckon with in the best way possible. Growing up, I've always thought she was someone who was so strong and always had a care for the community. One thing I respect about her is that she is her true self through and through, no matter what's going on in front of her or the situation presented to her. She is someone who stands in her power, in her truth, no matter the pushback or the situations going on. She's just that powerful. She's a very powerful person. And so I grew up seeing that as well with her. And even through the passing of my mom, her daughter, she has shown great strength, and has been a guide with my own grief handling that. She's also grieving. We are both still grieving in a sense, but I think out of the both of us, she's probably been the most strongest person to handle that situation, despite how rough it was, how hard it was to deal with it. She's just if I could open the dictionary and point to the word powerful, it would be her, because she just has such a quiet yet serene strength to her. I think a lot of people can feel whenever they get to be in her presence.
Providence Baptist Church and our entire community are stronger because of Dottie Alston. Today, we celebrate not just her service, but the living testament of what happens when one person decides to make a difference, one Sunday at a time, one life at a time, for 58 years and counting. Ladies and gentlemen, Providence honors Dottie Alston.